Hello there and welcome to a hype video for Master League Tournament 4 Scorched Earth, which is in 6 days time on Saturday the 16th of January. It's going to be absolutely awesome. As you may have heard, one of the main reasons I'm really excited about it is the format is pretty much nailed on. And what I mean by that is everybody that knows about this format and has actually looked at it thinks it's godly. It makes so much sense. You've got 8 groups of 4 players. That feeds into 2 further groups because the winner of each of the preceding groups wins and goes through, and then that feeds through to a best of 7 grand final over 4 days of action. And it's got this really cool feel where you start on summer maps, then half the way through the winter maps come. We've got Bocage Winter, Faymanville, Crossroads and Bayo. And also the Commander Terminator begins, where the players can from that point only play 1 commander per game. And the main purpose of this particular video is to reveal to you the player pool for this tournament. It's the deepest and most comprehensive skill pool I have seen in a Company of Heroes tournament ever. And you may have noticed that I've kind of said something similar for the last 3 Master League tournaments. Well, that's because the player pool's getting stronger all the time. You now look through this list of 44 signups, and we're going to struggle to do justice to some of the players that won't be eligible to play in the bracket of 32. That's why we're going to have a wild card round this time. So the players that don't make it in, once they've checked in on the day, that Saturday, they end up in a wild card because we've got so many awesome players going to play in this event. Now, if you haven't seen already, the top 8 seeds, they start their life. It's evenly distributed throughout the 8 groups. So it's like 1, 4, 5, 8, which is pretty much how the left side of a bracket usually looks. But the rest of it is going to be semi-random. Just like the Champions League or like FIFA, we're going to pick people out of a pot. Or I'm going to do it in Google Sheets with a random number generator. But it'll all be random on the day, and we'll have a really even distribution of the players. Let's have a look at some of the players that this is going to affect in this incredibly deep pool. So your top 8... Isilda, Nagano, Kimbo, Devem are your top 4. And I would say if Asiamint, I mean, we really do need Asiamint here, but he's the only top player that hasn't signed up. But that is just a who's who and who's like really, really skillful at Code 2 at the moment. And then you've got 2 absolute legends in position 5 and 6. Love Nest has been training properly again. To be honest, if I was going to manually seed it, I'd be tempted to push him up higher, but we're basing this off the Master League. This is on form, not on subjective thinking. Von Ivan, who did really well in Chaos Krieg, Master League Tournament 3. Then you got Seeking and Ashablar. Von Asten's returned. Koz, Quirits, Orange Pest, Elpern. They form a really cool tier 2 of players pushing up into that top tier. And it's just a really, really strong field. But if you go further down, you've got the player that I'm going to be casting in that first day. I can't wait to cast Aimstrong playing, former world champion of both Co 1 and Co 2. This guy's back for a bit of Master League action, so that's going to be exciting. And you've got so many talented players and individuals out there, so it's going to be really exciting to watch for certain. So yeah, I mean, to point out, I mean, Von Asten isn't in the top 8, so whoever ends up with Von Asten in their group, that's going to be really tough. This guy's a former, I think he had number 1 seed at one point in a tournament last year, perhaps. I mean, I could go check that out for you right now. When was the last time Von Asten had number 1 seed? He did have it at one point. That's how well thought of he was. This predates the Master League, of course. I think it might have been for the Elite Showdown. So we can just go back to this. Maybe my memory's wrong, but we'll just go back to it. There, yeah, I was right. Von Asten was a former number 1 seed only a year and a half ago. So the fact that in Master League Tournament 4 Scorched Earth, he's going to be in a 2nd position in one of these groups. He's going to form a B player in one of these groups. Whoever ends up against Von Asten's going to have a really tough group of death, if you want to call it that. But also we've got Aimstrong, I think. That's really one to watch out for, along with Happy Cat, I want to say. Orange Pest has been getting better. It's interesting that we don't see Expensive Runner anywhere. I would have expected to have seen him. He's also been getting it better, but we do have some really interesting players. Also want to shout out Borrow Badger. I think he's a dark horse. Refuro. I don't know how much he's practiced recently. Same with Borrow Badger, actually. But both of those can beat anybody on their day. We've got some returning legends for the United States. Twisted Tootsie and Tomikaze. And yeah, it's just a really strong field. I'm really excited. I know you guys are. And yeah, we're going to have an amazing 4 days of action. Now, because there's that many matches and series and games, whatever you want to call it, we're going to require lots of casters on that first day for certain and the second day. We have possibly, get this, 1, 2, 8, 16, 17, no, 20 simultaneous series. Is that right? No, 22 simultaneous series. That's going to be absolutely ridiculous. It's going to be so much action to cast. It's going to be so entertaining to watch. You're going to be spoilt for choice, quite literally. I mean, I've always talked about, you know, how good it would be to have 2 monitors during one of these big tournaments on the first weekend especially. Well, in this case, you're going to need like an FBI citadel of information gathering. You're going to need like one of those kind of chairs that rocks back with a 20 monitor display going that way, or even a virtual reality thing. I'm thinking maybe we put you in the Minority Report kind of thing, and you're like moving the information around, just trying to keep up with the players and the amount of series that you're going to be able to watch. After that, it does get a little bit more consolidated, and for the you know, the Saturday of the second weekend, you probably just have 2 or 3 main streams on, and then of course on the Sunday it'll be myself. My co-caster plan for this point is Ed 80Hz, and then players that drop out that make good analysts as well. So I'm going to mix and match there and get some really good second opinions as well as the usual. So it's going to be really exciting from that front. And yeah, guys, it's going to be an amazing event. A big thanks to so many people. I'm going to put it all out there now, although we probably need a separate page for this. Big thanks to all the Master League backers. I love you, every single one of you. You're making this happen. We've got a fantastically large prize pool, which I'm only just now talking about. $1,500 for the first place prize. And then we're going to have 3 awards. We're going to have Underdog Win of the Tournament, Most Improved Player, New Strategy Win of the Tournament. Really cool stuff. So yeah, it's going to be the biggest prize pool we've had as a community event for a long time. That's going to be pretty hype. And of course, the patrons themselves will be able to vote on those awards. Thanks to Mirageflar and also Wolf for bringing together the Winter Balance preview mod and tourney mode. I think Mirageflar did the actual merging, so big thanks to him. And he's doing some quality assessment right now to get it up to snuff in time, so that's really cool. Big thanks to KPen97 for not only making a Bocage winter, but also a Faymanville winter, which is really, really fun to watch games on. It just gives it this very cold and brutal feeling, which is nice. And big thanks to the referees. We actually have 3 new referees joining us. I will be giving them lots of shout-outs during the tournament, but we need all hands on deck for what is going to be a monstrous event. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. If you've made it this far, you're truly a glutton for punishment, and you're going to have plenty more coming your way. So see you in 6 days' time for Master League Tournament 4 Scorched Earth. I'm looking forward to it, and I know you are. Ciao for now.